Hey, what is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into yet another episode of Yards Per Fantasy. I am your host, Kevin Brumley. And I'm telling you guys right now, drop a sub to this channel, man. We are cranking out great content all the time. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter. It's at the_sports_muse. That's my tag handle or whatever you want to say for both social media outlets. I have my own channel, which is called The Sports Muse. So check it all out, man, and let us know what you think. And, what do you guys want to see videos made out of? So I've been covering some receivers that I like as far as value picks for Dynasty football. I'm continuing on today with the wide receiver position. The guy I want to talk about today is Christian Kirk. Now, when you're kind of thinking of Christian Kirk, I'm sure you're sitting there going, it's kind of a crowded wide receiver core. They just got Hopkins. They have Larry Fitz for one more season. Andy Isabella. They just transition tagged Kenyon Drake. What does that Cardinals offense, what is it going to look like? So what I kind of believe is the Hopkins trade has nothing to do with really Christian Kirk. I think Christian Kirk, they're kind of grooming to be their Larry Fitzgerald, that guy who can push it up over the top, but he's going to work that intermediate middle of the field. He's going to be kind of that safety blanket that a lot of teams use tight ends for. I think that's what Kyler Murray envisions Christian Kirk as. So if we look at Christian Kirk's first 8 games of the 2019 season, he had 46 catches for 508 yards. He ended up getting rolled up on. It was a pretty nasty looking injury. I actually thought he was going to miss the rest of the season. Shows how tough the guy is. He ended up pushing through it, but you can tell he was hampered with an injury the remainder of the season. But if he would have took those numbers for the first half of the season and just pushed him through the second half, nothing crazy. He would have ended up with 92 catches, 1,016 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Nothing to blow your mind. But that would have had him land at wide receiver 17, one spot barely behind DJ Moore. Does that kind of make you think about things a little bit different? The way I look at this is Kyler Murray is their guy of the future. And, when you're switching a quarterback position, you never kind of know what to expect. But what I saw with the early quick rapport that those two had, I know that Kyler Murray likes throwing to Christian Kirk. He trusts Christian Kirk to make the catch, to protect him coming across the middle of the field. The other thing I saw is, Cliff Kingsbury, it was his first year coaching in the NFL. And they did pass the ball a lot, especially at the beginning of the season. But the one kind of weird thing that you might not realize is they really didn't push the ball down the field very much. So, somebody like an Andy Isabella is kind of an odd fit unless, they weren't pushing it down the field because, Kyler Murray was young and their line wasn't great last year. But as far as that goes, they were 24th in the league of yards per attempt. I mean, I do think Kyler Murray can push it down the field, but I kind of look at it as, Andy Isabella is there to take the top off. DeAndre Hopkins can kind of do it all, but he is a deep threat. So if those two are keeping safeties at bay, keeping them back, Christian Kirk's going to work the middle of the field with Larry Fitzgerald this season. And then remember, it's dynasty football. Christian Kirk's 24 years old. He's going to be in Arizona for a long time with a young quarterback. And like I said, I love that rapport they have already. It's easy to understand why Kyler Murray likes throwing to Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk averaged 3.5 yards of separation per route ran last year. That would rank him second in the league. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? 3.5 yards he got of separation every time he ran a route. That is insane. I see a lot of Robert Woods, Danny Amendola in Christian Kirk's play. If he can stay healthy, I think you could maybe see a Robert Woods type season from him. Christian's one of those guys. He's not going to wow you with any one play. He's just a guy who knows how to play the game. And like I said, like Robert Woods and Danny Amendola, they're not sexy fantasy picks, but they get the job done. With everything I said, with Kirk being the safety blanket for Kyler Murray, with him working the middle of the field, with him getting that separation, if he would have kept on that pace last year as wide receiver 17, when you look at him going as wide receiver 34 in dynasty PPR rankings, I just feel like it's a value pick. I'm not saying, clearly DeAndre Hopkins is the guy there. If anybody's going to finish in the top 10, top 5 on that wide receiver core, it's going to be Hopkins. Easy pick. Okay. I'm not breaking news to you. But the idea is Christian Kirk can be a maybe a high teens, low 20s player. I truly do believe that. The last number I want to kind of get you out on is we knew Deshaun Watson loved to throw to DeAndre Hopkins. And in the first 8 games of last season, DeAndre Hopkins was targeted 81 times in Houston. Last year, Christian Kirk in the first 8 games in Arizona with a rookie quarterback was targeted 72 times. I'm just saying, man, Christian Kirk and Kyler Murray have a connection, and he wants to feed it to his guy. Guys, you can thank me later. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We really appreciate it here at Yards Per Fantasy. If you guys like the video, please click like, drop a sub, drop a comment what you guys thought about the video. If there's a player you guys want to see us break down, I can do a video on it. We can write an article about it. Just give us some feedback. Let us know what you guys want to see. If you guys liked me, please check out my channel, Sports Muse. I've interviewed NFL players, Levon Kirkland, Bruce Gronkowski. I've had some of the best players in the nation, Keyshawn Silver, Elliott Donald, Jake Brenningstool, players from UCLA, Clemson, Bo Collins, some players you're definitely going to see on Sundays in the near future. So definitely check it out, guys. And like I said, please drop a sub.